The views and opinions expressed on Beautiful Disasters are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their sponsors, or anyone else involved. Also, there is going to be a lot of adult language used on this podcast, so please keep your little kitties away.
Welcome back to another episode of Beautiful Disasters. Schlock Abuse Edition. Dun, dun, dun. This particular one was kind of thematic.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that.
You know, but yeah. Anyway, let's introduce ourselves. I'm the Grutz.
F.U. Hunter.
And I assigned you a movie that had a title reference similar to another film that we did called Manborg.
That's right. And I was hoping maybe this was the bastard sequel of sorts to it, but that's not the case.
Not at all.
Anyway,
no.
I love the shit out of Manborg, and I don't ever need to see the movie you assigned me ever again. So.
Before we mention the title,
right.
I need to briefly talk about the movie I was going to assign you.
Oh, God.
Which is a movie called Dick Shark.
Yeah, that's...
And it had a pretty intense cover with what looked like a woman going down on a dick that had a shark for a head. And this particular movie was directed by a guy named Bill Zabub.
God damn it! Really? He's not even they're not even trying.
And I ended up actually trying to preview this movie just to see what I was going to be giving you.
Right.
And it was unendurable.
How long did you make it into that before you were like, "Fuck this! I had to turn this off"?
I watched the whole movie, but I had to fast forward through a lot of sequences because somehow this movie is 2 hours and 24 minutes long.
What? Who wrote a script for Dick Shark that had enough content for that long a movie?
No.
I wouldn't have made it that long, man. I'm telling you.
No. You're mistaken. The script was probably 30 pages.
Yeah.
Maybe. But there were so many sequences of naked women and him fondling boobs. And almost every sequence was in slow motion.
God damn it!
And it just made everything take
so it's probably
forever.
actually like a 90-minute movie.
If
they
that.
just slow motion so many scenes, they made it 2:24.
If they played everything regular speed, that movie would be like 80 minutes long.
God damn!
It was. I just had to fast forward so much. It doesn't qualify as a movie. I don't know what it is. It was fucking unendurable, and as much as I love to fuck with you with schlock abuse, I could not put you through that.
Well, thank you.
No, I legit was like, he will hate me and quit the damn podcast.
No more schlock abuse.
We're done. Fuck you. So. Right, anyway, I didn't do that one. The movie I did assign you was Sheborg.
Sheborg, with the slogan, part woman, part machine, total destruction.
So tell me the fuck about Sheborg, because I have not seen it.
Came out in 2016, directed by Daniel Armstrong. He didn't do really... It looks like a British production. Everybody in there has a British accent. But fairly low budget. Like... I would put it in the what's the bikini
beach blanket Frankenstein?
That level of just, hey, we know some people and we've got a camera, or I guess a phone. I don't know if this would be on a camera.
Well, I did notice that this was released by Wild Eye Releasing.
Yeah.
And we've covered a couple of their movies, including the amazing Velocipaster.
Yep.
But this is not one of their...
What was taunting is the trailers before I started it looked really good, and I wish I'd watched one of those movies. Because, I think they got some quality movies. This wasn't one of them.
So it goes. All right. So
it's got some tongue-in-cheek stuff in there, but Yeah, it was a rough go. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what the running time was, but whatever it was, you could have cut like 30 minutes out of it.
I did look at it, and it was much shorter
Yeah.
than Dick Shark.
There you go.
It was like 80-some minutes. So I was like, okay.
All right, so cut to first scene. 2 punk rock chicks are fucking vandalizing shit, and you see like these vote blah 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 for mayor and like anarchy signs, anarchy. So they're vandalizing shit, and one chick's got bright red hair. The other one, I'll be honest, I just kept calling her British Amy Poehler. She looked sort of like Amy Poehler. She had like the blonde hair, but she always wore like a weird hat that wasn't punk rock. But you just assume they kept playing wannabe punk rock music while they were doing shit, and the girl with red hair had the lip ring and like had the Doc Martens and plaid pants and everything like. So they're vandalizing shit, and then also the cops show up and they pretty much are like, "Fuck you, cop!" Or they see a cop car and they go, "All right, fucking let's mark this shit." So of course, what do they put on the cop car? Fucking anarchy, because they're punk rock, man. I mean, that's all you had to do. Of course, then the cops go back to the car. They go, "Hey, you!" And then I guess you could call it a chase scene, but the slowest chase scene ever. Nobody is really like, again, we brought this up a couple times where I feel like either they only have a certain amount of area they can film in or whatever, but like they're not running fast at all. The girls start running away, the cops, and there's just like slow motion running, but at regular film speed. So eventually, Red and Amy Poehler get fucking caught by the cops, and we're taking you downtown or whatever. All right, so then cut to this weird out in space, and there's this. It looked like a croissant ship where it just looked like a croissant but made out of metal, just floating in space.
That sounds like the Ferengi Marauder.
Sort of, but more like a croissant. All right.
Okay,
like,
even more so.
I feel like they could have took a croissant and wrapped it in aluminum foil and then painted a few things. It's
oh wow,
yeah,
super low budget.
But then we're out in space and we find out this cyborg chick is in front of all these other aliens, and the main alien there says, "You stand accused against crimes against the lords of the galaxy." Okay?
Okay.
So, and what I noticed is again, all the aliens besides Cyborg, they all look like Daryl Hannah's character from Blade Runner. They all have blonde hair, they've painted over their eyes, and are wearing kind of the same outfits. And I was like, did they get a transmission from space on Blade Runner? Like, that is what we will all look like, because everybody looks like fucking Daryl Hannah's character.
I want to go to that.
Yeah.
That world.
Yeah. It was pretty fucking sexy, except that includes the dudes. So...
Well, I mean, whatever your preference.
Yeah, which the one guy in there that you see in the background kind of looks like Rocky from Rocky Horror, like, but with black makeup on because he has the nice short hair, blonde hair.
If I had the chance to fuck Pris from Blade Runner, I'd do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, she
looks wild.
She was a pleasure model.
Yes, she was.
Oh, yikes!
So at that point, they sentence her to death, and I was like, all right. And then they surround her. And it's not, by the way, this is like in a small like area of the ship. We're not talking about like she's sitting in front of a judge and jury. It's just a bunch of aliens surrounding this chick, and they're like, all right, we're sentencing you. And the way they do that is they just start puking on her. They go over and start puking green shit.
What?
And she starts melting and shit like that. And you're like,
dude, that's a harsh way to die, bro.
So she's like burning and screaming, but then she gets up and she's able to fuck up like all of the Blade Runner aliens, and then she goes over to the ship and just starts ripping out wiring, and as she's like ripping out wiring and like hugging it, like she starts healing up. So she needs that. Or there's some show where if there's things called Borgs that you know just grab anything in the ship and then make that part of their body.
Right, they assimilate technology into their bodies.
Yeah, that's this. They
from
the very beginning, they are not even... Look, Manborg is a whole other movie. This movie is Sheborg, and they really emphasize the Borg part as in, remember Star Trek Next Generation Borgs? Because that's all this is. All right? That's all this is.
Wow.
Oh man. So yeah, she recovers and then she pretty much jumps into an escape pod and flies off, and then you see another escape pod fucking shoot out right after that. Then we cut back to punk rock girls, then they're in the police station, and I noticed Red's wearing a shirt that says Anarchy Rules with 3 Z's at the end.
Oh man.
And then this like douchebag comes up and he's wearing the same shirt, and he's like, "Hey, you got the same shirt?" And she's like, "I designed this." And he's like, No, this is promoting my band." And I can't remember what the name of his band is, but it's fucking stupid too. But this dude looks kind of like coked out Tommy Lee. All right.
Oh wow.
But
you mean a more coked out Tommy Lee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Tommy Lee, but like on a fucking like 2-year binge. Like he looks just fucked up. All right. So then all of a sudden, the cops show up and they go, "All right, you're released. Get the fuck out of here." Come to find out that Red's dad is the mayor. That's right. And he's like, "I'm this close to fucking kicking you out and putting you out on the street and stuff like that. Like, these shenanigans need to stop." And of course, it's obvious. Red has some daddy issues. All right.
Yeah. That's why she's the rebellious girl.
"Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you.
Fuck you and your establishment bullshit."
Yeah. By the way, through this whole beginning, it's like shitty electronic poppy shit that like almost like stealing from 28 Days Later, but not the good electric sounding stuff, but whatever they could get for free.
Oh yeah.
So like at this point I'm like, God damn, just don't give me any music. Like if you're gonna have, again, you're showing punks and then it's just like and just electric shit throughout the entire first half.
There are plenty of broke ass fucking punk bands.
Seriously.
That you could get their music for like $50 or just a case of beer.
So then we introduce another character who's this purple-haired like nerd chick who wears Star Trek shirts, and she's looking through the telescope and she sees 2 meteorites crashing down the Earth, and she has to investigate. She's like, I want this place to be the new Roswell. Like already, she's already established that whatever those are, they've got to be aliens. All right. So we cut to what lands, and it's Sheborg gets out, and she's landed kind of in the country, except there is a puppy farm nearby, which we'll get into later on.
Okay.
But she gets out of the ship, and then pretty much 2 of the chicks that are leaving the puppy barn, one chick that's kind of butch looking, and then another one, she just has like the scrubs on, stuff like that. And Sheborg jumps at them, and then fade to black. And you're like, oh, I guess she murdered them, right? But remember, this is Star Trek Borgs. They don't murder, they assimilate.
They make more.
Yeah. So, and then we get back to fucking the punk rock girls again. And they're at the club watching the shitty-ass band that I, again, can't remember what their name is. It doesn't really fucking matter. But it's Tommy Lee's band and stuff like that.
Right.
Red could give 2 shits. But, British Amy Poehler's all about this dude. And he's like, he comes over and he's like, he's wearing a shirt and it says Puppy Farms, and it's got like a, fuck Puppy Farms shit, like let's fight the power with that.
Right.
And like British Amy Poehler's just like, oh my God, I feel the same way. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I want to fucking raid that place. I want to release all the puppies and like fucking like, and she's like, oh, fucking do it. So she pretty much agrees to let her and Red are going to meet up with Tommy Lee and fucking go in his van and fucking free the puppies, all right?
Adopt, don't shop. Let's be terrorists.
Yeah. Oh, God. So then we get back to Sheborg, and the first shot we see of her is there's a random dog, and she stomps it to death. That's right.
The fuck?
Yeah, the dog is like barking at her, and she just walks over and then stomps the shit out of it, right?
Why didn't she assimilate the dog? Now that would have been a fucking awesome movie if there were a bunch of goddamn like
they did though. It's just
android
it's just
dogs,
humans, yeah.
Like cybernetically enhanced dogs.
Did you ever see anything besides humans being assimilated on Star Trek?
That's so sad though.
I know.
How awesome could this movie have been if there was an
yeah.
They took over the world with an army of fucking cybernetically enhanced dogs. Oh, dude.
But dun dun dun. right after she fucking murders a dog, fucking Blade Runner fucking alien was on the other escape pod.
Oh, right.
Hops out, starts fucking up Sheborg, just fucking like nailing her, and Sheborg's falling down, and you think, all right, well, she's fucking done for. But then Sheborg gets like a sucker punch, and then she has these little spiked whatever come out of her, and she stabs her over and over again. Blade Runner chick falls down, and then, as Sheborg likes to do, head stomps her too. And so Blade Runner chick is fucking mush and just bleeds out all this green goo everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then, oh yeah, the thing that Sheborg really only says till the very end of the movie is chaos provides, which...
What the fuck?
I don't know. Again, probably a ripoff of something that the Borg say. I mean...
Is that some kind of like...
Or wait. Resistance is futile, right?
Yeah.
Chaos provides. I mean, like...
But
yeah.
It doesn't make any damn sense. Like, what's the context? I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so then we get to this fucked up evil blonde... This blonde scientist who is testing shit on puppies, and we get to a table with all these fucking dead puppies opened up, and she's like...
what the fuck?
And she does some tagline to some cosmetic product. I think it was like Maybelline or something like that, and she laughs. Like, she's
well, they
fucking
definitely
evil.
didn't use that in the movie because they would get sued the fuck.
Well, yeah, but they didn't. Well, they used close to a tagline of something, but not. Yeah, not exactly. You know. All right. Then I noticed, by the way, they do a scan shot of the puppy farm. They're using the term puppy kind of. There's a lot of full-size dogs. Let's just say that. Like, it's not a puppy farm. There's some puppies, but then there's just dogs, and I don't know if. Initially, the plan was to have a fuck ton of puppies, but then they're like, just grab some dogs, throw them in kennels, we'll just get shots of it. Because it's like full-size, older-looking dogs in this kennel. So, but of course...
So one of the producers basically had a connection to like a fucking shelter or something.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, we're going to use this and just like shoot all these dogs.
Exactly. Oh, God. So, pretty much... She leaves the facility, and then you hear her scream, no! And then fade to black, and you assume Sheborg has now got her. Oh, my head's hurting. Then we come back to punk rock chicks. They're roll up in the van with coked out Tommy Lee, and they're gonna go fight the power. And then you establish in the van, and then it cuts to purple haired nerd chick. It's like this movie need to take some fucking Adderall or something. It's just, oh yeah, this character keeps like bouncing back and forth.
Oh my god.
But so purple nerd girl goes to the crash site, and she's walking around, and she sees the dead Blade Runner chick, who all her green goo's there, and so she brought a fuck ton of mason jars for some reason, and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get all these specimens. This is gonna be now the Roswell. I'm gonna take this back. I'm gonna hit the news. Everybody's gonna know about it. This is fucking alien green shit. Fuck yeah. So
the truth is out there.
Yeah. So then we cut to punk rock girls are going through the puppy farm. They're gonna break in. They're like in the first lab, and dun dun dun. The first two chicks that left the puppy farm that, were greeted by Sheborg, there they are again, but with Borg technology, which is the metal on their eyes and a little robot arm and shit like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you have Scrubs Borg, and then you have Butch Borg. And Butch Borg is like fucking them up. Like, yeah, she's throwing them all over the place. And like, by the way, British Amy Poehler is fucking worthless. Most of the time when they're being attacked, she just screams and screams. Like, Red is the fucking go-to. Like, she grabs a shovel, a la fucking Shaun of the Dead, and fucking just starts bashing the shit out of fucking Butch Borg, and fucking takes care of that. And then, let's see. Then we get revealed that, as we already figured, blonde bitch scientist is now blonde Borg. And she has the doctor's coat on, but with the cybernetic thing on there. And she grabs fucking Tommy Lee and throws him in this cage, and that's where we see purple-haired nerd girl. And it's Tommy Lee, purple-haired nerd girl, and some other random motherfucker. So you know who's the first that's going to be fucked, right? It's probably going to be that dude. So, of course, as they're in the cage, Blonde Borg shows up, grabs the random dude, and takes him off. And you see him put him in a chair, and then there's all these cars with wires. And there is Sheborg sitting in one of the cars, and they've taken like VCRs and a bunch of like whatever and hooked all this stuff up to these cars, and then there's these wires that are on the chair that create the Borgs. So Sheborg has her own like a simulation like area. Oh, my head's fucking hurting. Anyhow, so then Blonde Borg comes back, and Tommy Lee is like, were you gonna fucking anal probe us? And that's when Blonde Borg goes, that's a good idea. And something throughout the movie is that Blonde Borg decides every person she's gonna encounter, or at least a few people, she's gonna anally probe. So when we cut back, when the punk rock girls come to save him, literally Blonde Borg has her robot arm but with a drill fucking anally probing fucking cocaine Tommy Lee. Oh God.
Well,
now this is...
He did give her the idea. That's a dumb thing to say.
Now this is the part that really kind of bothered me, I'll be honest. Like, there's one thing to be a shitty movie or just not well acted or the plot's giving me a headache, but they want to stress that all these Borgs have to eat puppies.
They have to eat puppies.
I guess they have to have some sort of food, and puppies, whatever is not human that's near them. So then we get just shots of just dead puppies and like bits and pieces. And that's one thing, all right? But then they've got some where they have them and they're like chopped in half and they're howling and like, and it's just, it's way the fuck over the top.
Okay,
right?
no.
Again, like I could deal with like, Reanimator, you get the cat, fucking Return of the Living Dead, you get the fucking half dog. Those are short scenes. This shit just seemed to go on for a long fucking time.
This is like shades of like Cannibal Holocaust, where they're like
just
butchering a turtle or killing a monkey or something. It's like,
and they're like, and then
what?
they show one of the Borgs grabbing the puppy and ripping it open and just like sucking on it. So it's just like you see all the carcasses, and then you see like you see the one of the Borgs eating one of them, and you're just like, okay, we get it. And that I wish I could say that's the last time we see it. But then there's a scene later on where they remind you again. Oh yeah, remember there's a bunch of dead fucking puppies here. God damn it, we get the point. Move on.
Now, if I'm just going to say this, if you want to sell a movie and make money on a movie, why are you going to kill the pet that half the world loves the most?
And emphasize it. That's the thing. It's not a quick thing. And obviously, the ones that they're eating look fake as shit. Look like a stuffed animal, a stuffed dog, and there's like, and then pulling out whatever. But still, just unnecessary.
Yeah, even when it happens once in a movie, Patrick Bateman kicks a puppy to death, after he kills a bum in a freaking alleyway in American Psycho. Movies. But I mean, come on, man! If you do that like multiple times in a movie, what do you expect?
There's certain movies that Charlotte won't watch if there's like any random ass violence on animals. And when I was done watching this, I said, yeah, you can never watch this fucking movie because you will not make it through that fucking scene.
No. Dude.
And I wouldn't make her watch this anyway because it's fucking terrible. Oh my God. So, let's see. All right. So, Red and British Amy Poehler free the rest of the dogs. Coincidentally, it looks like most of the older dogs that I was talking about earlier. Like, again, one day this kennel, they're like, all right, I just want to do a quick zoom shot of all the dogs and then another shot of everybody letting them out. So, luckily, no more puppy murders. The rest of the dogs get away. Yay, punk rock girls.
All right. Good.
The one Borg shows up, the dude that was next to the cars that got created. He shows up with a fucking weed whacker, and then they're fucking fighting them, and they run to the van where there's coked out Tommy Lee because they just saved him and told him to go to the van while he did everything. and he's fucking dead as they open the door. This was actually a pretty decent practical shot where his guts just start falling out. I was like, all right. I mean, they were fake, but decent. But then as they're fighting Nerd Girl, they release Nerd Girl, and they're like, all right, we can't go to this van. So they go to her van, and just out of reaction, she grabs one of the jars of the green goo, and she fucking throws it at one of the Borgs. What do you know? Blade Runner chick's green goo fucking kills the Borgs. So they take out a few of them, and I was just thinking, like, what an impressive amount of jars, because I think they grabbed like 20 fucking mason jars of green shit. I was just like, I know she wanted samples, but was she going to sell this shit or something?
Maybe she put up an Etsy shop.
Exactly.
Alien goo for sale.
So they eventually jump in the van after they killed a couple Borgs. There's still a couple running towards them, so they do it. And this is the most action scene of the movie, is that a Borg gets on the back of the van, throws Red, who grabs the door, and then it's a sort of a stunt. The van's not going very fast, but Red's hanging onto the door. This intense, like, is she going to fall off? And then eventually Red climbs on the side of the van and then makes it through the sunroof and then fucks up the Borg that's in there because, again, British Amy Poehler is fucking worthless and can't defend herself, all right? So they make it to town, and of course, they go to the police station. They're like, all right, here's the deal. There's this fucking Sheborg, and she fucking assimilates other people into Borgs, and then they'll fucking kill people and make them Borgs, and they kill all these puppies, and everybody's looking at them like they're fucking nuts, and like, shut the fuck up. And then Red's dad, the mayor, shows up, and he's like, fuck you, stop trying to get attention, nobody believes you, fuck off. So, apparently they arrest them, and Red, Amy Poehler, and Purple Nerd are fucking in the cell. And then they decide they need to have like a fighting scene between Red and Amy Poehler. And it's just pathetic. And I just like, yeah, and it's like there's conflict. Like they're following the steps. Like you gotta have inner conflict, at one point where the heroes question themselves. But then we get to the Borgs invading the town, and Tommy Lee's band is practicing, and they're like, where the fuck is he? He's supposed to be here. Well, Blonde Borg fucking rolls up in there. What's the first thing she does? Fucking anal probes the fucking drummer, dude. And then you see him screaming in pain, and then it cuts to another scene, and you just assume, all right, she's taken out the rest of the band and made them Borgs.
Oh my god, dude.
And then you just get quick shots of different people being assimilated, or I don't even know they probably had a different term, so they would be careful of how they were doing it, since there's a lot of similarities.
God, what a legacy, man. Like, he offhandedly commented about anal probing, and then she decided that was the way it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And he condemned his entire band to that fate.
So they show up at the police station. Some of the Borgs show up at the police station, and they fuck up pretty much all the cops. And Red and everybody, they figure out a way to escape. Nerd Girl says she has this hard drive, a la Independence Day, that could dismantle, because apparently they figure out at some point that Sheborg is going to try to make a signal to call other Borgs to Earth and say, hey, this place is right. This place is good for the taking, all right? But she's got this flash drive that fucking will stop it. So, I mean, we're just first contact right into Independence Day on this shit.
Oh, man.
So then you cut to one of the last cops who goes out to the part of town to investigate. There's been some calls of craziness, and he gets out of the car, and there's two of the band members that are now Borgs, and they're fucking throwing around, just bitch slapping him. And then Blonde Borg looks at them and goes, hey, stop playing with your food. And so they do some lunge thing at him, and then it cuts to another scene. You're like, okay, I guess he's fucking dead. And then we cut to the mayor, who is bragging about that the new power station can provide the most power ever. But you can tell he's got the Borg thing on him, and he's being controlled by them. but he still wants to be a mayor, even though he's a Borg.
What a twist.
Yeah, what a twist. So at this point, we kind of assume now everybody's a Borg. Come find out the one cop that, we faded to black, whatever, that we thought was killed. Now he's still alive. And of course, it's funny because he's all tatted up. And at some point, his shirt just gets ripped off. And he just, half the movie, just runs around shirtless and like, oh man, I'm glad I worked out for this role. But he ends up saving Red and the other two chicks. And they're like, all right, fuck this. We need to make it to Sheborg's station thing and fucking end this. So they're going, and randomly enough, he's speeding, and then the police cruiser just crashes into a fucking tree. like he's just a bad driver all of a sudden. I didn't really see anything that really affected it. All of a sudden, he just crashes into a tree. And then they're like up the tree, sort of, right? And then they show shots of characters, and then the car flips over, falls down, which I think they didn't expect or something. But then, as they see that, then all these Townsborg people start rolling up. So, of course, they gotta start fucking them up. And this is where I still hate this movie, but at least there was one thing I could enjoy about it.
Okay.
They changed the fucking soundtrack to fucking metal, and like actually decent metal.
Okay.
It's like, it's like fucking, like they're fucking up Borgs, and like I was like, all right, good. At least there's something I can sort of enjoy. Yeah, so like the rest of the movie is pretty fucking like metal soundtrack.
Okay.
They should have done that through the entire movie, but they only did it like the last 30 minutes. I also want to note, by the way, everybody sucks in this, except for the mayor. Like, everybody's just reading their lines, going through the motions or whatever like that. But he is, like, really intense with his acting. Like, I will not allow this. And I'm just like, dude, come, what are you doing, man? You don't have to act this well. Like, have you not seen how everyone else is doing it?
It's not that kind of movie, man.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they just keep trying to do that. So, of course, they fucking fuck up as many of the Borgs as they can. And they realize one thing you can do is just yank the cables out of their headpiece that goes to their neck piece, and that'll fucking kill them. Because
seems like a design flaw to me.
Yeah, I know. They acquired some more green goo, but whatever. So they have some green goo, but they're like, oh shit, this makes it a lot easier. But I think some Borgs die by that, some don't. I don't know. So we end up with kind of the matchups of some of the Borgs versus other people, and it's Red versus Blonde Borg, who, by the way, at this point now, one of her robot hand has syringes on it because she's a fucking doctor, and they're fighting. And I will be honest. I've never seen someone have their head slammed in a door multiple times and survive the way they do this to Red, because she's fighting Blonde Borg, and Blonde Borg smashes her head through the fucking window, right, and then takes a car door and like repeatedly fucking
shit
slams it. And I'm just thinking, okay, so Red's dead, but Red must have the most amazing strong head ever, because no, she's not dead. I'm just thinking, all right, cool, because most motherfuckers, that's like the end scene, like, and door slam, death. Not for Red. The other two are hiding out while Red's fighting Blonde Borg, and then Purple Nerd Girl's like, you know what? Have we even tried talking to them?
Can't we all just get along?
Pretty much, yeah. Like she is like, we're treating this as one thing, like an invasion, but couldn't this be like Close Encounters? I think she says, like, can we make this like Close Encounters 7 or something? Oh my gosh. So...
Wow.
There's some more fighting. This is where, I'll be honest, at this part, I passed out and then had to go back and rewatch it because it just kind of drags on. Let's just say, at some point, Red defeats Blonde Borg by getting a car and then rolling over her over and fucking over and fucking over and fucking over again. And then she finds the main power cable, because at this point Sheborg has started her sending her satellite feed, up through into space. So she takes it out with one cord, like 2 extension cords, just yank. All right, there you go, no power.
Easy.
Yeah. And then we get to, now I will give this movie props on something else. So Sheborg, they fuck up. They fuck up most of the other Borgs, so now it's just down to Sheborg. British Amy Poehler is like starting to fight now. You know, it just took her most of the fucking movie to get the confidence and everything.
Okay.
But she's fighting, but then she has to fight Sheborg, who fucks her up. Literally rips her tongue out.
Oh,
and
shit.
then goes into her and pulls out her heart and just fucking kills her. I'll be honest, I did not expect that. I gotta give me props on that.
All right. You know, unexpected death.
I did not see that going.
Harsh way to go.
Well, apparently, as Red's fighting Sheborg, and it looks like Sheborg's going to beat the fuck out of Red, just like she did to British Amy Poehler. But Red has that secret part of that green goo left, and she fucking stabs her with that shit, and that finally kills fucking... I guess she hit the right part of the... I guess she had to stab her, and then there was an actual opening, so she could put the green shit in Sheborg instead of on the outside.
All right.
And that melts her, and then everything... And then she goes over to British Amy Poehler. She's dead. And then there's some really shitty fucking emo music. And just when I was like, getting excited about all the metal music, and it turns into some shitty emo music.
Oh, man.
Cut to... They don't tell us the time period. But now you've got Red, purple-haired nerd, and the cop. But they're in post-apocalyptic gear. Like, and the van is like... Road Warrior set up with fucking spikes and shit like that. And I'm like, oh, this takes place sometime in the future.
I guess.
But then you see 2 more meteorites coming down, and then pretty much you're like to assume that some of the Borgs got the call and they're coming to Earth. And she's like, Red looks at it and she's like, let's go take out those metal motherfuckers. Credits.
Oh, man.
There's some credits, and then there's a credit scene that just shows a different Sheborg, but nothing happens. You see her turn around and it's a different Sheborg, and she probably says the same thing, chaos provides, whatever, and then it cuts to black, and that was it. But man, this movie again, I it's such a blatant ripoff of the Borg and Star Trek. It's just hard to watch. Like, change a few things around, all right, people?
Oh, man.
God
well,
damn it.
You know, hey. So it wasn't Manborg.
No. Manborg is fucking amazing. I love Manborg.
Yes.
I just discovered that Manborg, the director of that, has gone on to make some of the movies I also really fucking dig besides Manborg, like The Void. So...
Goddamn right.
Manborg was so much fun. This was a challenge. And again, sometimes I could just mail it in, but I was like, let's see what happens here. And it was the only thing that I would say encouraged me, it was good that I watched it to the end, was seeing British Amy Poehler fucking bite it. Because I didn't expect that. I figured this was going to be cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And they fucking killed her. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to give at least one good twist, right?
Yeah. But besides that, the acting sucked. Most of the dialogue is dog shit. A lot of the fighting sequences are if, like, you and me were to choreograph, like, all right, dude, like, I'm going to go at you, and you just kind of, like, move your head, and, like, but it's us, like, you know, like, no, just no actual fighting choreography, so. But that was Sheborg.
Oh, boy. All right.
Fuck that movie.
Fuck it.
And again, like, there's some fun parts in it, but you got all this stuff I already said. And all the dead fucking puppies, all right? Like, if there was any kind of wink-wink part of this movie, but you can't watch it because of all the dead puppies.
You can't do that.
The plethora.
I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of movie you're making.
Yeah.
You can't fill a movie with a bunch of dead dogs.
Exactly.
Like, anyway, let's wrap this up.
Right.
Thank you so much for listening to Beautiful Disasters. Give us suggestions. You can contact us on Facebook, Beautiful Disasters Podcast, or through email, beautifuldisasterspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got some fun stuff coming up in the future for the podcast.
I like your shirt there. What is that? Is that a new Beautiful Disaster shirt?
It is. It finally came.
Oh, shit. That's
It
pretty
got delivered to
fucking
my
tight.
old address.
Ah.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yes, Beautiful Disasters Schlock Abuse Program.
Looks just like the Battle Royale imprint. It is fucking awesome.
I fucking love this shirt
Yeah.
so much. It's so badass.
So, and I guess you get that from TeePublic.
TeePublic, yeah, that's where all of the GUI shirts exist.
And a quick way to do that, just you can go to GUIpodcast.com. There's
I think it's the first link, right?
That's right.
Boom,
Bam.
right there. Get some merch, bitch. Yeah, there's a lot of good shirts on there for all the podcasts. And as always, thanks for listening. And what else we got? That's it, right?
That's it.
Fuck it. All right. I've been the Grutz.
FU Hunter.
Thanks for listening.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
embrace the madness.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
GUIpodcast.com